Activision Blizzard, a case study by Vanessa Marie Lasco, student at Concordia University in Strategic Management. The company background, the start of an industry. The computing age and video games grew hand in hand, and Atari was the first home computer in many homes in America. For engineers and developers, working at Atari was very different than how it works today. While Atari did celebrate their employees for great work, developers did not receive any credit for the games that they made while working at Atari, nor did they share in the profits. Most game developers were capped at a $30,000 a year salary. Breaking from tradition, in 1979, Atari employees David Crane and Alan Miller tried to demand some degree of ownership from their works, much like it is done in the movie and music industries. They requested that Atari give them in-game in-game credit to the titles that they created, and some type of royalty system. Atari declined, and soon they would leave the company. Shortly after, they gained more developers who left Atari to join them in their new company, which they would name Activision, which is a play on the words active television. Over the course of many years and many acquisitions, Activision gained a blockbuster catalog. They acquired companies such as Blizzard Entertainment, King, which is big in mobile gaming, Major League Gaming, and many, many more titles. Their catalog includes games such as Candy Crush, StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Doom, Destiny, Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, and many more. Vision and mission. Their vision is to be one of the largest, most profitable, well-respected interactive entertainment software companies in the world. They certainly are one of the largest and most profitable. They are respected, but they have some issues with ethics, which we'll talk about later. Mission, they are dedicated to creating the most epic entertainment experiences ever. Their business model. Activision uses a mass market business model that has no true differentiation between their end customers. They market to females, males, young, old, everyone in between, different countries, different languages, etc. Activision's core value proposition is to generate accessibility by offering a large variety of options. They have games in just about every category, from your casual to your hardcore gamer, first-person shooters, role-playing games, platformers, you name it. The company has several streams of revenue. They sell hard copies of games, digital copies of games. They have subscription services with games such as World of Warcraft, where you pay a monthly fee. They have royalties, in-game transactions, which are called microtransactions, downloadable content, or DLCs, which extend the life of the video games, and things called loot boxes, which are in-game chance purchases. They're similar to gambling, as well as in-game advertisement. Their competitive strategy. Activision Blizzard Company uses a broad target differentiation model. Activision focuses on providing products and services that simply cannot be experienced elsewhere. Ethics. Company ethic codes and current ethics issues. Activision has a simple three-pillared code of conduct: responsibility, creativity, integrity. With these three pillars, they state that they want to promote owning a problem and the solution, promote asking, is there a better way, and avoid sacrificing the right thing for the easier fast thing. Current ethical problems: greed, addiction, and predatory practices. Games like World of Warcraft have been called inherently addictive in nature and have been at the center of a few serious scandals. Most of these scandals have included the deaths of children, many of which have been caused because their parents were addicted to the game to the point where they neglected to meet the basic needs of their child and they died. There's also been other suicides and other deaths related to this game, World of Warcraft. The microtransactions, a major component of their business model, has been called predatory in some circumstances. Some instances, children have spent upwards of $10,000 in in-game microtransactions, claiming to be addicted to these games. Loot box transactions have also come under scrutiny, being called gambling, and could be soon outlawed in Europe and potentially the US. This not only affects the bottom line, but could cause serious branding issues for the company. 5 Force analysis. Activision Blizzard, in regards to competitive rivalry, is in the video game industry, which is one of the most volatile, competitive, and fickle industries that there are. There is competition from some of the largest and well-known brands in the world, including Microsoft, Apple, Disney, Sony, Nintendo, just to name a few, all which have hundreds of billions of dollars at their disposal. Any of these competitors have enormous capital resources and have a lot of IP power. Supplier power. In the industry, creative talent are the commodities and games are the product. Budding talent can come from many sources, and acquiring talent can be very costly. The more popular the game, the higher the acquisition cost. Buyer power. Buyers have a plethora of game choices with thousands of new titles being added each year. The buyer is also very price sensitive, and with the fast growing mobile market, more gamers are expecting free games to play or the free to play models, which puts a large strain on not only Activision but all game developers to come up with new monetization systems for their titles that allow for different ways to allow games to be free. Third is substitution. Substitution is a mixed bag. Activision products are very replaceable, and they're constantly being threatened by new contenders. Their title, Skylanders, was unique when they came out with it, but now Nintendo basically takes that model with almost every game that they make now with the Amiibo system. As an example, threat of new entry. New entry is always very high in the video game industry. Multi-billion-dollar companies like Microsoft and Apple and Disney could throw hundreds of millions of dollars into R&D to develop new titles that could disrupt the market completely. In the strategic grouping, you could see that Activision has spanned themselves across the board. They have games from free to play all the way to full price or subscription base, as well as casual gamer all the way up to the AAA rated releases. The EFE, the largest factors that they have in the opportunity is their cash flow on hand. On average, around $3.3 billion in cash to attract talent or new acquisitions. Upcoming releases such as Destiny and Call of Duty have the potential to be billion-dollar blockbusters. The ESPN-like broadcasting system, which they hope to launch with the new acquisition of Major League Gaming, could be a potential huge run on the new emerging esports. Threats. Large percentage of gamers are moving to go mobile, which is disrupting the industry. There's lawsuit and patent trolls to constantly be worried about. And EA's release of the new Star Wars, which is a massive multiplayer online game, could compete directly with their World of Warcraft. SWAT SO strategies use Activision's Goliath IPs in recent acquisition of MLG to corner the esports market, which is set to double over the next 3 years. Exploit Call of Duty and Overwatch player base to expand viewership. ST strategies, plan time exclusives to pad console competition, give new life to long-tooth games such as Guitar Hero by bringing them to mobile. WO strategies, restructuring could help serious weaknesses in the company. There's a lot of overlapping with the large amounts of acquisitions that they take on a regular basis. Tightening legal exposure as well, and ensuring victory in the litigations to prevent future ones. WT strategies, revitalize long-tooth franchises that could eventually become major losses, such as World of Warcraft, and avoid lost gamers to mobile by bringing more Activision games into that space. IFEs, the acquisition of MLG esports tournament organizers, the acquisition of King Mobile Software Company, which will allow them to start dominating in the mobile industry. The Destiny 2 and Crash Bandicoot releases, which are set to hit soon. Threats, World of Warcraft losing subscribers, major, and difficulty with developers. Financials, they're strong as ever. They're set to make $6.78 billion in 2018. And strategically speaking, because of all of their assets, they should take an aggressive approach to the industry.